Grandia, to my knowledge, has one of the most divided fan communities. There are people who love the sequels, and those that think the sequels are dirt compared to the original game. To appease all sides of this argument, I'll focus exclusively on the first game for this review. Don't want any angry letters heading into Geek HQ tomorrow. Seriously, we get enough mail as it is. What with all those Nigerian lottery letters and offers to increase the size of our hard drives? Yeah, we need the storage. Grandia, developed by Game Arts, was released for the Sega Saturn in 1997, but would not see release in the US for another 2 years after that. The Sega Saturn version of the game was released exclusively in Japan, whilst over here it was brought to the phenomenal PS1. This was mainly due to Sega being a dick about Japanese games in the Saturn, and since Sega had decided to discontinue the Saturn in '98. Bravo Sega. Bravo. Of course, not much difference between these ports. Some say the Japanese version had better graphics and crappy loading times. I tend to agree with that, since the Saturn was a 2D powerhouse and that any game with 2D materials, like Grandia, shone on the Saturn. Anyway, the fact is the graphics on any system look great. A nice mix of low poly 3D and 2D sprites bring an anime character to the world. A character that works. The battle system is your average turn-based affair. You select commands from a menu, your characters act them out after a timer builds up, you get the idea. Skill development also utilises a mastery system, meaning the more times you use an attack, the more it gains power and effectiveness. It's a neat system. Of course, these days it's pretty basic, but for a game of its era, it was pretty damn good. And these are classic games, remember, they're not as advanced as Assassin's Creed or Modern Warfare or whatever you're playing these days. Plot is generally your basic anime tropes, with a young boy on a quest to save the world, with some funny and dangerous characters along the way to offer the player some giggles. Music is damn good too, with some of the best audio work in a video game ever. The music is so damn hummable that it's almost illegal. Seriously, such good battle themes here, good town music too. It just works. It works so damn well. Presentation. Well, as somebody with experience in designing user interfaces for software, this game has a pretty lousy interface. Considering it was made during a time when UI design wasn't a huge deal to many developers, it can be forgiven. But I don't like the menus in battle. Too obtuse. Translation is mixed too. The written text is pretty well done, but the voice acting segments, well, I had to clean a lot of blood out my ears after playing it again this morning. Not entirely satisfied by this voice work. I meant to say some of the worst voice acting ever. Not Resident Evil standards, but still, pretty lifeless and forgetful.
The bastards, they're hounding me. Merlin, where are we now?
It's only been a half an hour since you asked last. You look tired, General Ball.
I keep telling you, Merlin, when there are no soldiers around, you should call me father.
Excuse me, but Lieutenant Lean is still here.
It's just like you to answer like that. But you know that Lean is a very special part of our military plans, aren't you, Lean?
Overall, this really is a classic game, reflective of the 90s and the rise of 32-bit development for home consoles. Grandia will be remembered by gamers for many generations to come as one of the finest JRPGs to grace the systems it was developed for. I can sort of understand the argument that the sequels are not as good as the original, but that can be interpreted by many different people in many different ways. For now, good game. Download on PSN now.
Hey, Justin!
Ouch! Mom! What did I do?
How many times do I have to tell you? No dirty shoes in the kitchen.
Even so, you don't have to hit me with your tray.
Don't talk back to me. You know the rules of Seagull Restaurant. Always keep the kitchen clean. Come on, I have work to do. Out you go.